nsfw. What was the most disturbing thing you've seen on internet? Some video of a guy trying to dive into water but hitting a rock somewhere below. His head literally exploded. Dude was still alive, but there was nothing left of his head. It actually made me sick to my stomach. There's a similar scene in movie Apocalypto. Torture video of a guy whose hands had been cut off and whose face had been flayed. He no longer had a face, but he was still alive. A few guys standing around and holding him down. One is stabbing the victim in the eye with a Stanley knife or screwdriver. The victim's wrist tie comes loose and you see him reach for the face he doesn't have with the hands he doesn't have. Awful product placement. I saw a car crash aftermath video where a young woman had the skin of her face ripped off and hanging by a bit of skin by her forehead. Her eyes were popped out too. The worst part was that she was fully conscious and was touching her ripped off face and eyes with hands and moaning. Worst thing I've seen by far. Yep, saw that on our WTF when it still had content like that. It was creepy when she looked down but her hanging face kept looking forward. Yo, WTF, why was such content allowed in the first place? I think they removed it for ads. One of the guys I knew sent CP to me on Discord randomly. Instantly reported him, deleted the image and blocked hi monsieur, pervert. Discord is messed up thanks to this now. There's hundreds of servers like this. I even found out someone I thought was a friend was a freaking pedophile. I wrote about it on Quora. If y'all wanna know what happened, I should have updated the story. After I thought about it for a while, I decided I'd give the cops an anonymous tip, and they followed through. Last time I heard from him, he was being monitored by the police, and has restricted internet access till he turns 18 or something. CP destroys children. You need to report this person. A picture in a subreddit of some guy and opened up cadaver. Saw something similar when I was 10, a collection of images called What Happens in the Morgue. Only thing I've ever seen that's given me nightmares. The most fucked up was when he took the girl's eyes out and put them in her. Well, I think the rest is self-explanatory. A guy was calmly trying to fit a glass jar up his and was halfway there before it shattered. Dude didn't freak out or anything. He just calmly starts shards of glass out of his now bloody like this is just another Tuesday evening or something. Honestly, I don't even know how I stumbled upon the video, seeing as I've never gone searching for this kind of stuff. One man, one jar. Wicked. Grave robbers opening up buried coffins and stealing rings off corpses, even if it meant taking the finger with the ring to remove it. That actually is a common thing when it comes to looting corpses. I think I saw some records of medieval times where pirates or sailors after a shipwreck would fish for their dead mates to get their hands on everything they could. Humans can be cruel beings, especially in stressful or dangerous situations. We just can't control ourselves as much as we like to think. Video of a doctor removing a coiled spring from the urethra of a that has so infected that there was maggots coming out of it. Basically knocked out of the internet for a week after that. Probably that Japanese woman who was kidnapped, tortured and raped for like half a month. I remember reading an article about it. It had pictures in it showing the woman being forced to eat cockroach, drink urine and then getting beaten up by these three guys. It really fucked me up. Unco for Tora. Her murder is every woman's nightmare. Yep, I'm shocked that they didn't give those monsters a death sentence. There was a story on here about a little kid in a cancer ward. He lost an eye to cancer and was really upbeat until one day he was really sad, because he learned he had to have surgery to remove the other eye. This is the exact moment my aunt would go off about how God does this to know we love him. Awesome. Psycho. Early interwebs. Some kid at our house wouldn't shut up about rotten.com, another gross he said you could find on the internet. Then he went completely dark web and pulled up a picture of some kid not much younger than us, getting his throat slit. I don't even know if it was real, but it seriously scared me to the point I told him to get the out of our house. And I still remember it to this day. A father helping a crowd stone his daughter who was accused of cheating on her husband. This thread has now become its own correct answer. It's scary. And yet I've spent the last 15 minutes here. BME Pain Olympics. I'm pretty sure that was proven to be a fake. This thread is a downer. I imagining if I actually saw this stuff, I am just reading descriptions. Lord. SMH. Yeah, don't click on anything. Spend some time here, then get out of this post and be happy again. The young girl who was high on coke and crashed her dad's Porsche. The pictures of the aftermath haunted me for weeks. I remember the first picture was outside or far from the car, and the next pic was what remains of her in the interior of the car. What I don't remember is which subreddit I was on, or if it was LiveLeak or something. I honestly don't want to look it up, but I'm sure if you're curious you can Google. I'm still squeamish even thinking about those pictures. Second most disturbing was an ISIS propaganda video of them executing men in a cage by drowning the monsieur. They had GoPros attached to the cage. That fucked me up for a couple weeks too. And GT, credit to you, extra messy, and GT, oh, I have a big list. And GT, run the gauntlet, and GT, Armin Mivas crime scene photos, and GT, Bryce Williams video, and GT, Ed Gein human art, and GT, shotgun death bath, and GT, Julia Sanchez live stream video, and GT, Gabriel Kuhn and Daniel Petrie, and GT, Nikki Katsura death photographs, and GT, facial degloving injuries, and GT, Stacy Wilson bus crime photos, and GT, body farm, and GT. Some of y'all gonna Google this, so I even rated which ones ain't that bad and which ones are. And GT, edit, 1 guy 2 spoons 3 guys 1 hammer smile, JPEG man shot on Facebook live, LiveLeak cartel torture, LiveLeak, and GT, edit 2, Apollo 1 burned bodies, 2 girls 1 cup. I read somewhere that it was chocolate mousse. That helped to settle my stomach. Yeah, it was made by some people that make fetish films, and that video was a teaser for one. The actors usually only do it if it is fake. Don't read this if you really don't want to know. Best gore video of a prisoner in some Asian country. He was tied up both hands and loosely at his feet so he could shuffle. He's blindfolded, being paraded alone in the middle of an empty street. A tank comes up slowly behind him and knocks him down and slowly runs him over, flattening him from his feet to his neck while he's squirming. When the fat tire reaches his head and rolls forward, his head explodes like a watermelon. Tank finishes rolling over. Hi monsieur, solidified my belief that there is no God. Christ, there is a star who looks exactly like a friend of mine. They even have the same facial scar. Only difference is my friend's eyes are blue and he has a tattoo on his shoulder. We found this out because a friend of mine was having trouble with his family and wanted to get away for a bit, so we took him hiking with my friends. He was super awkward near this guy, absolutely shocked meeting the guy's girlfriend, etc. Finally he just asked me and goes, is X or bi or what? I told him he's as straight as they come. About 20 minutes later he shows me a black and white picture of my friend wearing a leather cap, vest, and Ross in friend's leather pants. I whistled my friend over and showed him, and he hot pissed asking why I Photoshop hi monsieur. Once we figured out it wasn't him, we all got involved. It ended up with all 7 of us on our phones on a mountain looking up. The actor is 2 years older and 5 inches taller. Fast forward a few years, HES getting married, so we arranged in secret getting a photo of him and the star together and got it signed. Dude was nice, laughed about it, took the photo and hung around the club he was DJing at for an hour while we got it printed at Staples. Still weird going of 4chan every now and then for a YLYL thread or a video game board and seeing someone post a picture of a guy that I've known since he was 11 taking the size of a rolling pin. 3 guys 1 hammer. You can probably still find it somewhere, but I really advise you not to watch it. At least read this before you just go off trying to find it. Basically there were these 3 blokes in the Ukraine. I think they ended up murdering more than 20 people, but there was this video that everyone was watching and sending to each other when I was in year 8, in 2008. Anyway, being called 3 guys 1 hammer, I thought it'd be like a joke video, a parody or something on 2 girls 1 cup, so thought I'd have a laugh. Definitely not a laugh. The video is of the blokes beating a man in some woods. Then the bloke holding the camera smashes a hammer into the victim's face, and it's just too. I can't even describe the horror. He wouldn't stop. The victim was making these gurgling noises even even though he had no face left, and every time he gurgled, muscles in his face moved and more blood would come out. The three guys were laughing and just kept at it. Smash, 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 and you see the entire thing. They're very good with a camera. It's been 12 years and I can picture it like I watched it minutes ago. That poor man. The worst thing wasn't even his face caved in or his breathing stopping. It was the look on his face right before it happened. It was the look on his face right as he realized he was about to die. I know people say they've felt fear when they've almost died, like being hit by a car or something like that. But this poorer man knew without a doubt that he was about to die, and there was nothing he could do to escape it. Not against three blokes. Those two images just keep flashing in my mind all the time. His terror-stricken face, then his head with a hole where his face was minutes before. Those gurgles will never leave my memory. Video of Japanese man that walked into an with part of his skull missing with maggots visibly infesting and eating his brain while he was still alive. I saw a dog that was skinned alive for the Chinese fur trade, walking around with no skin on its body except for on its feet, like furry boots. It looked so confused and helpless. I can't imagine how much pain it must have been in. That one fucked me up good, just because of the level of evil it takes to do that to a living animal when it could just as easily have been put down first. Terrifying what human beings are capable of. My reflection off the screen. A website called Best for, literally a website where there's videos of people dying and there's probably people who beat off to it. Well, I watched that girl who got kidnapped in Morocco a few years back get her head sliced off, slowly with a machete as she screamed for her mother until she couldn't anymore. Someone once retweeted child pornography onto my timeline, saying how disgusting it was. It was such an upsetting thing to see, man, especially because the little girl was so young. She was smiling like she clearly didn't understand what was happening. I was mad at the person because I understand, yeah, you're disgusted by it, but none of your followers need to see that. Ever see someone shove a foot up another's? Red Foreman, is that you? This video about a politician shooting himself in front of a conference he held before his arrest. Can't say I remember his name though. Watching the video gave me chills. Bud Dwyer was his name. A video of a naked guy getting dismembered with a knife by three dudes in the desert. Probably some sort of terrorist propaganda that some dude sent in a group chat I was